Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Heather Denniston, and this is the Junk You Should Know show. We are here every Friday at noon PSD with Junk You Should Know about all things wellness. And today we're going to be talking about wellness from your phone. We are primarily looking at iPhone, but a lot of what I say today can be applicable to any kind of phone. So don't tune out just because you don't have an iPhone. Stay with me because we're going to go over some incredible information. And at the tail end of the show, I'm going to tell you something that could save your life. So you want to watch through, okay? So we have a couple things. Number one, we always want to give a shout out to our sponsor, The Change Cave. The Change Cave is an online 12-module learning institute that is so amazing. It's for women over 40 who want to up their wellness game. The program inspires first steps. It ignites passion. It brings together resources, accountability, and an incredible community of wellness seekers. I will put the link down below if you want to find out more about The Change Cave, but please do because you owe it to yourself to be well. What else do we have before we get into it? I want to let some people join in. We've got some good stuff today. Very good stuff. And I know last week, if you missed last week's show, we had Sarah Wells, Olympic Canadian hurdler, and that was a tremendously fun show. So do go back and check that out. And then I have the Fitness Marshal coming up. I have an interview with a travel blogger coming up. I have some great shows, so do just mark your calendar. Make sure you follow the Well Fit and Fed page so that you know to get notifications when the show goes live. And like, comment, and share for the show so that we continue to be able to produce it and get it out to you with all this great content. Okay, let's get going. So we are talking about wellness tricks from your phone, and there are so many of them. And I'm going to just start with some real basics, okay? So one of the things we do when we are trying to get and stay well is we want to hydrate better. And hydrating, it's so funny. As a chiropractor, I always loved asking the question to patients, so how much water do you drink? Oh, tons. I drink tons. Then I have them measure it, and they might drink 3 8-ounce glasses a day. So tons is very relative, and we want to drink half our body weight in ounces every single day, and we don't know if we're doing that unless we're tracking it. So there are some easy, simple, free hydration tracking apps. There are some fancier ones if you want to get all fancy and have all sorts of sound effects and notifications telling you to drink more water. You can do that. Literally the one called Water Tracker is great. There are tons of them there, so find one that you like and set it up so that you are drinking half your body weight in ounces every day. The next one, pretty straightforward, is Food Tracker, right? Again, if we're not recording data, then we really don't have a true test of what we're actually putting in our bodies. Seeing it on paper helps us reflect better. We see what actual caloric content, what breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats is. And the best way to do that is MyFitnessPal. I know there's other ones out there, but I'm telling you, I've tried lots of different ones. MyFitnessPal is the most integrated. It's the most seasoned. It's been tested and tested and tested. It has the biggest following. It's a no-brainer, and it's still free. I think there's an upgraded version you can get, but MyFitnessPal is great. There's a bit of a learning curve with it. It takes a while for it to get to know your foods, but frankly, people, we actually aren't that interesting. We tend to eat the same 30 or 40 foods, and that's being generous. Most people, it's about 20 different foods. So once they're in there, it's really easy to bring up. I just log mine at the end of every day, and I can tell you that I do better on my food plan when I'm logging every day. I'm more conscious of what I'm eating. I make better choices because I know I'm going to have to put it in there. So MyFitnessPal is a great way to monitor your nutrition and see it in black and white, and it has all sorts of statistics there that you can see very clearly. The pie chart with carbohydrate, protein, and fat. So if you are trying to be paleo or keto, or you're trying to get more of some nutrient versus another, you can see all that on MyFitnessPal very easily, and it makes it super simple for you. Third, habit implementation. This is my newest love because generating good habits saves you time and stress down the road. For sure. And once something becomes a routine in your life, it's past just being a habit, it's just like brushing your teeth. That is a beautiful thing, especially if it's something really positive. So there are a couple new habit trackers out there that I've only just discovered. They're not necessarily new, but Habitica, it's almost like a little village name. I love that one because it gamifies the whole thing. You pick an avatar, you get badges and points and all sorts of things, and you can list daily habits, you can list things you want to quit, things you want to start, you can list to-do items, and you start to generate points and getting through a maze and the whole thing, and it looks really, really fun, and I just set mine up this morning. There's a second one called Habit Bull, and I'll put all of these down below in the links. Habit Bull is slick, it's got a beautiful interface, it's got lots of data and a really easy user platform. So check out both of those as things you can use on your phone to help keep you well. And that's what we're talking about today, is all the different things you can do on your phone to inspire and improve your wellness. Next, stress reduction. Okay, this is another app, and not everything I have to say today has to do with app. We're going to get right into actually the bones of your phone and talk about wellness. Stress reduction, number one, Headspace. Headspace is an app. There's a bit of a fee associated with it, but it is worth it. It helps you learn about meditation, mindfulness, quiet times in your day. Anyone who has anxiety or stress, feels overwhelmed, Headspace is a tremendously easy thing to implement on and have it be on your phone so you can use it anytime to help bring things down a notch. And it goes through all sorts of breathing techniques too. So it's really, really great. So that is stress reduction. Now we're getting away from the apps a little bit here. We all know that when you are trying to inspire wellness in your life, one of the best things you can do is to get together with a community. It's one of the whole bases behind my membership program, The Change Kit, is getting a great community of people together who are going to support you in what your personal goals are while you come alongside them and support them. And by supporting and being supported, we have a much better chance of realizing those goals that we set out. There are two apps, and I'm going to show you the green one, WhatsApp. So down, oh my goodness, come on, Heather. There we go. There. WhatsApp and Marco Polo. I'm letting you guys into my life. I'm showing you all the apps on my phone. WhatsApp, I've been using for a long time, and it's a great group app. So if you have 2 or 3 neighbors, or you have some friends or sisters that you want to bring in, and the group of you set some goals, whether it's steps, or maybe you post the food you eat every day, or maybe you guys set an event a couple months out that you're going to do together, like a 5K, and you encourage each other. And so by using WhatsApp or something like Marco Polo, and if you don't know what Marco Polo is, I'll tell you, anybody I've turned on to it has said it's changed their relationships. Now that's a big statement, but the reason I think it does is because it's video texting. And when you get to see your loved one or your friend, more than just words on a page, the interaction is so much stronger. You feel more connected and closer. I know with my friends that I'm on Marco Polo with, I feel like I see them every day, which is really great. Well, you can establish a group, and Marco Polo is a great place to show people what you're eating, share with your group, maybe check in every morning as an encouragement tool. Maybe you guys all just check in with each other with words of encouragement, and that is the purpose of the group. There are lots of ways to establish a wellness group on so many different topics, from nutrition, sleep, exercise, movement, stress management, encouragement. There's lots of different ways you can do it. So from your phone, using an app like WhatsApp or Marco Polo is a great way to do it. So those actually are, I think I said I wasn't doing apps after that, but we did 2 more. Okay, sleep tracker. We're going to get into this in a moment when we start talking about the health app on the iPhone. So we're going to come back to this, but I find sleep tracking to be very useful because I have found with patients and clients that a couple of things happen. One is they think they're getting more sleep than they actually are, or they think they're getting terrible sleep and they're actually getting better sleep than they think they are, and it can ease some of the anxiety around sleep quality. So there's a lot of use for it, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Okay, so let's talk about the health app, because some of you don't even know that you have this on your phone. In fact, I just showed somebody the other day, and she did not know she had it. So let me just get rid of I'm gonna put that up because we're gonna get to that in just a minute. Okay, so I don't know why this is so hard, guys. Do you see that white square with the pink heart? That's your health app. It comes standard with every iPhone. So once you press it, let's get back to, there it is. This is what comes up, is these 4 squares. There is so much you can do with this, you guys, you don't even know, but you're gonna know because that's what we're talking about today. First one I want you to press on is sleep, okay? So here's your sleep app, part of the health app that you have on your phone. And you can see there's a purple bar down at the bottom that says 6.5. I only got 6.5 hours sleep last night. Long story, had to do with a late dinner and a final episode of Punisher that we couldn't pass up. But this you would not have if your sleep app is not turned on. So there is a place where when you press on this, it's going to tell you, it's going to have a switch, a toggle. You want to turn that on. So now you're thinking, well, how does this thing work? Okay, I'm going to have you go back and go to your alarm. So on your phone, there is the clock, okay, and it brings this up. And most of the time you're going to see, like, down at the bottom, there's alarm. Those are your alarms. See all my alarms that I have? There's alarms, there's timer, there's stopwatch. Once you turn your sleep app on, there's going to be a bed right in the middle called bedtime. And that's this guy. And what this does, genius. We know that for sleep hygiene, getting to bed at the same time and getting up at the same time every day is super conducive to healthy sleep. So iPhone put together a way to track that. So mine is set for 10:15, and so right about 10 o'clock, I get an alert that says, hey, 15 minutes till bedtime, okay? It's like having a parent, which sometimes I really need and want. And so so I just got distracted because something flashed in the back. I think my husband was walking by. And so it alerts me when you want to go to sleep. It wakes me up at the same time every day. And can I just share a little something with you? Let me see if I can find this. Here we go. Up in the right or left-hand corner, there are options. So guess what? You don't have to have it on every day. I do. It's what I use for my alarm 90% of the time. Unless I have to get up really, really early or something, I just use this bedtime tracker for my alarm. Because at your allotted time in the morning, here's what happens. Can you hear that? It's just going to get a little louder and a little louder, right? None of us have an alarm that makes this beautiful sound. So you can have it have nothing, or there are all sorts of beautiful, beautiful, calming, meditative sounds that can wake you up in the morning. And I love that. So this bedtime tracker is a crazy good wellness thing you can do from your phone. Play with when your bedtime is and when your wake up time is. If you remember on the Joe Show a few back, we interviewed Dr. Michael Bruce, who wrote The Power of When. He talks about that we have 4 chronotypes. He tells you how to figure out which one you are, and he tells you very specifically what your bedtime should be. So maybe start there. Look at your chronotype, figure out what time your bedtime should be, and then start playing with this bedtime tracker because it's very effective. Now, another piece of it is it does literally have tracking. So there you can see I had one pretty good long day right at the beginning. Then the next day you probably can't. There's a little break in the second day. That means I picked up my phone and turned it back down. And when I pick up my phone, I'm just looking at the time. So I must have woken up in the middle of the night, looked at the time, and put it back down. So that helps tell you that there was a break in your sleep. Now, there are lots of people who toss and turn and wake up and don't pick up their phones. Of course, the phone's not going to know that. So it's not super sensitive, but it can help you monitor when you go to sleep and when you wake up. And the beauty is it can be with no Wi-Fi, because we do not want our phones by our heads with Wi-Fi turned on. We want that turned off. Preferably, you don't necessarily want your phone near to you, but if you do have it and you want to use this app, you can turn your Wi-Fi off. Please remember to do that. Okay, so that's a sleep tracker. Now, we get to the crux of today's show. We want to talk about the thing that can save your life, and I mean that sincerely. I've talked to enough ambulance drivers and firefighters and police to say that they are using this particular feature on your phone, and if you don't know what it is, you better listen. There is a medical alert on your phone. Okay, so here's my home screen. Hi, handsome. Okay, on your home screen, if I press that and I bring up my lock, do you see there's an emergency? Right on that bottom right-hand side, there's an emergency. Okay, if I'm an ambulance driver and I come upon you and you're unconscious, then I can grab your phone, I can tap that emergency, and I can see if the medical ID is lit up at the bottom right. That tells the ambulance driver I have taken the time to fill out my medical information, and he can click on that, and he or she can look. I'm just going to show it to you guys. I'm allergic to sulfa. I'm not going to hide it. I am. And they can look at all of your medical information, especially those of you with allergies, with sensitivities to different things, previous, like you have a metal hip. People want to know this if, you know, they're dealing with putting you on a stretcher. These are really, really important things. So, well, how do you get this filled out, right? That's the question. So if you didn't even know you had this, how do you get that little medical ID thing to light up so caretakers know what's going on with you? Well, very easily, you go to your health app. Again, you remember we talked about, let me get to it, this guy, okay? And you see in the bottom, right there, bottom corner, it says medical ID. Tricky, huh? You click that, and voila. Here's all the places you can fill out information. And you want to fill it out as thoroughly as you can. I've got that I'm an organ donor. I have all my information, contact to another person. This is super helpful. And here's what I recommend, little trick about this. Set a recurring alarm or appointment annually for January 2nd to come back in here and make sure all the information is correct. So every year you might have changed medications, you might have lost a bunch of weight, you might have had a surgery that you need to add in here. Every January 2nd, put an alert in to come back in here and just check it. Alrighty? So we talked about so many great things today, you guys. We talked about hydration trackers. We talked about fitness. Oh, we didn't actually talk about fitness trackers. I didn't even have it in here. We talked about food, habit implementation, stress reduction, group support, fitness tracker, so easy, Strava, and oh gosh, there's so many good ones out there. Fitocracy is a great one. So those two are like tracking apps. They're going to motivate you. There's leaderboards of other folks that are doing what you do, and you can kind of get into a little healthy competition. That can be very motivating, and it's a great way to track your progress as well. And then there are so many workouts you can do directly from your phone, through YouTube, through 7-minute workout, through Sworkit, through Fitness Blender, so many. So there's no reason not to be able to work out wherever you are because you have a fitness instructor right on your phone. And there are lots. What was the one I just heard about? It was so cool. It was called Peak, I think. And you put on, it comes with a heart rate monitor, and you put it on, and there's an app on your phone, and it literally is artificial intelligence, real time, giving you feedback like, oh, you're out of the heart rate zone, speed up. Okay, let's push this last 5 minutes. Like, how amazing would that be to have a personal trainer at your beck and call for $1 a day is what that is. And I'll put that one down there too. I think it's called Peak. We're gonna have a lot of links today, guys. So keep coming back and checking the comments because it's gonna take me a while to put all those in there. But our final thing that we talked about today, obviously, was the health app on iPhone that comes with it, the little white square with the red heart. Check that out, play with it, there's lots there. And you know what else? Here's another beauteous thing that I didn't mention. If you're like, hey, I wonder what fitness app would be good for me, or I wonder what mindfulness app I should use. Here's the cool thing. Do you see that? All those squares right there? Right there? Those are all apps that integrate with the health app on iPhone. So Headspace, Calm, Simple Habit, 10% Happier, Meditation Studio. So if you're wondering what app to download, just come here. These are tried and true, proven apps that have built a relationship with your phone company and with Apple, and they integrate, and so that's awesome. So you can, on here, you can track the results of the app. It all puts it in the same place, and it's very, very useful. If we look at the nutrition one, of course, number 2, MyFitnessPal, which I love. The first one is called LifeSum. I don't know that one. And Lose It, Yazio, MyPlate, I have heard of before. So there are lots of great options here. And actually there's one called Water Logger, which is one we talked about for water tracking. So many ways to boost your wellness in a simplified way that's efficient and repeatable and sustainable. And so I encourage you, take some of the tidbits you learned today, start to apply them in your life, and we will just get better and better and better in regard to our health and wellness. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to share the show with friends and family, okay? I am on a mission here to help people just get tips and tidbits and pearls and all sorts of wisdom from the guests I bring on the show, and just junk that we should know and we should be implementing into our life. So we will talk to you guys soon. I'll see you next Friday. It's been a total pleasure. I think we were on show 42. Whew, that went fast. And so I can't wait to just keep going and going. And when we hit show 100, we'll have to do something really special. All right, you guys have a great weekend, and I will chat with you soon.